friends, I think we have some extremely good news. I was surprised when I looked earlier this morning, or the morning of the filming this video, that Tucker Carlson also did a video with Alexander Dugin.
He was an anti-Soviet dissident as a young man, and now he is famous the world over, in the English language press anyway, as, quote, Putin's brain.
So I see this as sort of a double present from Mr. Carlson to people interested in different ideas or actually trying to get to know Russia. Because during his interview with Putin, although some people, including Carlson himself supposedly, found it to be a bit boring, it expressed a completely different view of history, and a different view of history that here in Russia is real and is a fact and is the way that Russians interpret reality. So I thought that was very important for the future of relations between, let's just say, average people in the West and average people in Russia. And now, with this interview with Dugin, he got into not that many questions. Sadly, the interview was very short. I was hoping it would be longer. But ultimately, Dugin was able to really actually sort of lay out his attack, as it were, on liberalism.
I think that everything started with individualism. So individualism, that was a wrong understanding of the human nature, of the nature of man. When you identify individualism with the man, with the human nature, you cut all the relations to everything else. So you have very special idea of the subject, philosophical subject, as individual. And everything started in the Anglo-Saxon world with Protestant reform and with nominalism. Before that, nominalist attitude that there are no ideas, only things, only individual things. So individual, it was the key and is still key concept that was put in the center of liberal ideology.
And present a sort of different view on liberalism that no one else would see in the West. What he was really able to do was actually, how can I put this? He essentially kind of briefly was able to express a lot of the ideas in his masterpiece, The Fourth Political Theory, and popularize that. Essentially, Dugin and his ideas, which are very much at the core of Russia's modern ideology, have been exposed to millions upon millions upon millions of normal English-speaking people for the first time ever. This is a huge development. It is a huge gift, let's just say, to Russia, and an ideological gift to the West, because in a lot of ways, in my own personal opinion, the real problem we have, especially in the West, or let me just talk about the country I know the best, the United States, is we're sort of stuck in this feedback loop where, like Carlson said, he's like, I'm a classical liberal.
So what you're describing is clearly happening, and it's horrifying. But it's not the definition of liberalism I have in mind when I describe myself as what we say in the United States as a classical liberal.
But as a classical liberal, you essentially believe that everyone could have the freedom to be essentially as degenerate as they want. And in the 21st century, when food is really cheap and we have very little responsibilities, it seems like people can survive being complete degenerates. In the 19th century, you basically had to work or you were screwed. So you had to at least maintain some sort of minimal level of decency. You also deal with your neighbors in a pre-internet world, and now you don't. So you can be as much of a furry as you like online. But anyways, the real crisis is that really the answer from a lot of classical liberals, who are the more true traditional Americans, is that, well, we need to believe in these, go back to these values. But it's the classical liberal values that created the sort of woke, degenerate freaks that are happening now. And Dugin explains that in the interview, where he talks about how liberalism sort of created the nation state, but then it also, and the idea of the service of the majority, but then now liberalism is the reason why there's the service of the minority, and why the super woke liberals are fighting to remove any form of collective identity whatsoever as a means of oppression, including gender, and even going to the next step of humanness. So, very, very interesting. I cannot believe that this has happened. I wouldn't think that Carlson would go that far, but he did. Essentially, the idea bomb has been sent. It has detonated, and life is going to be changing, maybe in the West, at least intellectually. I kind of wish I could have been there to help Dugin a little bit in explaining his ideas, because I understand them better, and it's hard to express ideas in a second language. But still, I think he did a pretty good job. And again, the core issue that is really facing America is it's something to the effect of America was born from liberalism, and liberalism created a lot of good things, a lot of great successes, and like the Bill of Rights all come from the sort of liberalism school. But now our liberalism that created us is also the factor that's kind of killing us. So what do we do? How do we create this sort of anchor or mechanism to sort of rein in the liberalism, to bring us back to a more socially responsible classical liberalism, where you can't just, give everyone the freedom to be degenerate and then be shocked when they act really degenerately. You see what I mean? So that's something that we're going to have to think about. But at least for the first time in my old life, this question has been raised on a massive scale. It is a truly happy day for Russophiles, Russia fans, and Russia-related enthusiasts, as well as pretty much anyone. Anyone who's been on the bad side of liberalism. Anyways, guys, Kirby Russia, signing out.